Good afternoon. What I've come to do is to explain to you the Environment for Learning Survey Baseline. And what that is a survey that's confidential and asks you what it is like to be a student in this school. You'll have a handout when you go to your computer that explains to you how to log on and the various log on information that you need. So the first thing you'll need is the URL that takes you to the website. And you'll find that on the top of the handout, which is www.antidote-progress.org. But you don't have to remember it because it's on the handout. And there also will be on the wall posters which show you the same information. Once you get onto the website, you'll be asked for the login for the school. You'll find that on the poster, you'll find it on the handout. You put the login for the school, and then you put in your personal login information, which is your initials and your date of birth. Now, everybody at this point says, well, that's not confidential because I put in my initials, I put in my date of birth. But the only reason you do that is so that the system can find you again. It's if the power goes down or you don't get to finish it and you want to go back in. So we are not interested, and the school will never find out, in who said what. What we're interested in is what is said. Once you get through the login information, you'll find there's two buttons. One is view an introduction, and the second one is to take the survey. You go straight to the survey. In the survey, you'll be asked some demographic information, which is basically what year are you in, whether you're a boy or a girl, what ethnic origin you are, whether you're white British or Afro-Caribbean or whatever. So you fill in that information just so that we can look at the data different ways and see which year group feels what, which gender says what, and so on. The questions are really easy. They have a 6-point scale, and you read the question and decide how much that is like you. How strongly do you feel about that? From 1, which is almost never, to 6, which is almost always. And so you decide what's true for you, and what we want is for you to be as honest as you possibly can. Some of the questions come in banks, like 5 or 6 at a time, and they are about particular groups or types of people in the school. So it might be about teachers or friends or other pupils, and you fill those in. Some of them won't be applicable, so you get an option to say not applicable if it's not applicable for you. At the end, when you've filled in all the questions that are scored 1 to 6, you'll find there's a box, and we're asking you to just tell us a bit more. Anything that you think would be helpful in helping your school to move forward, this is your opportunity to say it. So we'd really appreciate if you take the time to fill in the box and to say a bit more about the things you thought about when you were filling in the rest of the survey. You know when you've got to the end, because you'll get a graph, which is your personal graph, and it tells you how classy you feel. That means how capable, listened to, accepted, safe and included you feel in this school. And once you see your graph, your data is submitted. So the only thing to remind you is it is confidential, so you can say exactly what you think.